a friend can be an educator and an educator can be a friend too. But it is how we balance it. Every learner that we meet, they have something to offer to us too.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Great Principles. I am Seema Chhoriya. Great Principles, an educational and interactive talk show that brings together best school leaders of the world. Today we have with you another celebrated figure from the world of Indian academia. One of the most important figures of the ancient Greek world, Plato said, beauty of the style and harmony and grace and good rhythm depends on simplicity. My guest today is a person who is known for her simplicity and affability. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Roja Paul, Principal, Niraj International School, Hyderabad. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. It's an honor to have you today.
My pleasure entirely to join with you, and let's celebrate learning and education together.
Wonderful. So let's begin where it all started. So, once upon a
Absolutely.
time, you had this vision of making a difference in the lives of many around you by making changes in your own life. The biggest decision towards this was by becoming an educator. So, how important it is for educators to believe in the philosophy that they make a difference in many lives.
I think the moment they become a teacher and when they are having an audience of say 10 to 15 or no number is not important, but when they notice that there are people who are listening to you, they're watching you, they're observing you, every teacher knows that they are here to make a difference. They cannot take it very lightly. They are someone who make a world of difference in the lives of every learner that they meet. And actually, if I may say very carefully, it's actually making a difference in our lives big time. Every learner that we meet, they have something to offer to us too.
Wonderful thoughts here, ma'am. So let me ask you another question here. So, do you think that a teacher needs to be a friend or she needs to be what she's ought to be, and that is an educator?
Uh, that's a very wonderful statement. Can a teacher be a friend or an educator? But can an educator be a friend or a friend can be an educator? Vice versa is true. Okay. And if you, history says or speaks for it, that, our best teachers are our friends, our peers. Okay.
Absolutely.
So the teacher has to play a role of all of this. It doesn't mean that I'm a teacher, so I cannot be a friend. I can be a friend. I can be a confidant. I can be a parent. I can be a guide. I can be a philosopher. And most importantly, I should be an entertainer, because it is something that we have to bear in mind, that I am somebody who has to keep these students, learners entertained all through. And the entertainment is not song and dance, but the content. I may sing and dance. So yes, a friend can be an educator and an educator can be a friend too. But it is how we balance it between both.
Certainly, the balance is the key. If you can balance it well, then you have done it. And that is what we want today. So
Absolutely.
we need educators, those who are friend, teacher, mentor, guide, with whom children can connect. Because once that connection is done, that is when the learning happens.
Absolutely.
So great thoughts here. Going ahead to our next question, ma'am. Educators should be good mind readers as well, adept to the analyzing the personality types. It is said that they need to just scan the child, what is going on in his mind, in his heart, in his thoughts. So, are there any specific methods to know more about children's personality type and help them with various skills learning?
One thing that a teacher should bear in mind is that I'm here to make a difference, like you asked me earlier. So, when I know that I want to make a difference, automatically the aspect of love comes into the picture. And when I love somebody, I will make an effort to figure out, read everything that comes, not what they write and give, but even their body language. Are they happy? Are they unhappy? Do they understand? Are they sad? Is there something that is troubling them? Yes, we are mind readers, we are body language experts. If I may say very carefully, nothing against those people who do it for a living, but I must say that we all have to have it, especially, I would say, for a woman, for a lady, it is their second nature. And being a mother is something that we are whether we are biologically or not, but we do actually have the ability and capacity to read a person's mind. And not to say that, men don't do it, but I think we are gifted with it, if I may say.
Completely agree to you, ma'am. We can just see, look at the child and make it out what's going on. He's happy, he's not in the mood, and at times we need to go with the flow. We need to understand
Absolutely.
that children
Yeah,
too, and especially this pandemic, they have completely disturbed children. They are in a different zone. We need to
absolutely.
understand their emotions.
Absolutely.
So, ma'am, now when children are returning back to school, now government is asking to schools to reopen. What role will teachers play in understanding the learning loss that has happened, the learning gap? I'll not call loss. There is certain kind of gap. Children have not been to school and now they're coming back. They're emotionally also disturbed. So what role will teachers play now in getting them back in the form?
First thing that the teachers have to understand that the children are not responsible for what has happened. So if they begin with that thought that they are the ones who have been affected the most, and not the teachers, it's the students who have been affected the most. How the teachers have been affected is how they can deliver the content in a very effective way, but ultimately the content has to be delivered to this learner. So it is the person who's affected most is the student. So if a teacher understands that it is the child who's affected the most and not anybody else, that is itself a good enough start for all of us to do the corrective, if I may say, damage control. Yes, there has been learning loss also, Ms. Seema, because the way we teach in a class is entirely different from communicating via a digital device. It's not
True.
that a tangible this thing, when a child can touch a teacher, can feel a teacher, can smell a teacher, it is working on all their senses. Teaching is about involving all the five senses. It is just not visual and this one. It's not at all that. I don't think I would agree with only that. It's all five senses. I should be able to feel. I should be able to smell all of it. So if it is not there, then teaching is not complete and it is not effective. So once a teacher understands that there has been a learning loss and it is the child who's been affected the most, and what is it that I can do to help the child, that is half battle won. And I think all teachers today have understood that it is the child who's been affected the most, and they are willing to make amends for it. Definitely.
And when I see the children, those who are going to enter in the formative years, especially the one from kindergarten, they were graduating to first standard. It was the foundation. And as you rightly said, it's all about the five senses. And we can see that today, yes, they are attending classes online, but still they are lagging. There is something which is missing out, and they are not very cleared conceptually. And now we are afraid because we don't want our children to start again from first standard. We want them to
Absolutely.
be in the further grade. But what about the foundation?
Absolutely.
That is a shaking thought that all of us have, even the educators, the parents, all of us are wondering how are they going to cope up with the 2 years.
Hmm. But these children are very, very resilient. They will fight back, they will kick back, and I'm sure they will get back to their normalcy at the earliest. That's the best part of that age that they are in. They get back to and they acclimatize themselves very quickly. That's the beauty of it.
Very true. And this is that we all must learn from children. How
Yes,
beautifully they just mold into any situation and they be
absolutely.
a part of it.
Yeah.
Wonderful thoughts here. Going ahead to our next question, ma'am. It is very satisfying to know that the teachers, us, and our society and colleagues, everyone respects teachers and especially the educators. And there are so many accomplishments that you all have. And success and recognition is achieved when a school's reputation is based on school leader. So how well they ultimately, the leader is the face of the school, right? So when led by a good leader, schools succeed. So recognition and success are an example of good teamwork. What are your thoughts among these, and your schools being among the top 20 schools by education world? So I would really like to understand what is your vision about it. What are your thoughts on it?
I would agree to disagree with that. See, ultimately, a principal or the head of the institution is a face that stands by the entire team. But is that the team is only the teaching staff? More so the non-teaching staff who have never been given the credit for all the back end work that they have done. Okay, so principal is as much as the team that she is leading. If she is not able to have the team produce the best results, then there is something that the fingers can be pointed at the school leader too, but there is also the situation, the circumstances that have come into the picture today, not previously, today. So ultimately, but yes, there will be, I can't say it's a one man show. It cannot be a one man show. It has to be a system driven, but who's driving that system? That is very important. Does everybody know, am I a process owner? Am I who's somebody who's accountable? Am I somebody who can deliver end of the day? Yes, it is important. Success is important, and being able to lead the school from the front while on field is also very important. It is very, very heart-rending and heartwarming to know that you're recognized for hard work. But if I don't get it, will it stop? I don't think it will. That's how a teacher who's a teacher by heart works. Probably end of the day, all her students may not get the best, because ultimately it is someone else who has to deliver. But will my hard work differ? No, it will get better.
Completely agree with you. Teamwork is essential to run an educational institute which is successful, and ultimately it's a team and collaboration that we all look for with parents, students, that completely forms a team and let the institute go ahead.
Absolutely.
Even if everyone is trying their best, and if students are not ready to understand or are not cooperating, how will school functions? So this is a teamwork, and this needs to be recognized. So a wonderful thought here, and I really love the point where you mentioned that even if we are not recognized or rewarded, our work go on, and that is what a true teacher is at heart. So these thoughts really touch me today, and I'm so honored to know that there are teachers like you there who are ensuring that education must go on, whether my effort is being recognized or not. So wonderful
Yes.
thoughts. Going ahead, ma'am, in a conversation, ma'am, day in and day out, we all strive to make every moment count through our sheer work, our dedication, our determination to reach out to our goal. And we seek advice, guidance, motivation to help us through. So, educationists that you look upon for your advice, support, guidance is?
One thing that I would like to be very honest about is um, I'm somebody who reads a lot of gospel literature. So I do look at a lot of guidance, or rather the way to go, the direction, how to go is basically, it comes out when I'm actually spending a lot of time scripture reading, and where I get to know, okay, this is the way, because that has already been set. Already we know that this is how it has to be done. The path is there. It is for me to choose that path or no. That is something that I would like to say. That's the first way. Second is one of my presently I am a principal, but I have also had my principal who I really look up to is somebody, Miss Vijayalakshmi Ramesh. She was my boss, if I may say, and I'm very happy that she was my boss, because she taught me a lot as to how you can be so humble yet be so knowledgeable. That is something. And she did not have these qualms about shaking hands with support staff or anybody. She would go ahead and thank them for the efforts that they put in. I think we all make an effort to go thank our staff and probably extend a hand for gratitude, of gratitude. But how many of us actually go to the support staff and say thank you to them? But that is something that I learned from her, and I think that will be with me for my lifetime. So these are the people that I have, she's the one I can say I have looked up to. I have had other this thing, like, how to work, look for detail is my first principle, like that I've had. But this lady is somebody who was like a package deal to me.
Great to know this, ma'am. When you have someone like this, your role model is there, and all you do is just follow the path that she has laid
Yes,
up, and you try to be better and better every day and ensure that you stand up to the expectations that your role model has set out.
absolutely.
Yeah, so wonderful to know this. Going ahead, now we have reached to the very interesting segment of the show, which is called Rapid Fire Round. You have to answer in a word or a statement. All right. So here goes the first question. So the time, which is my time, the time which I indulge in the activities I like to is my favorite time. So tell me the activities you like to indulge in your recreational time.
Listening to music and listening to sermons. And music, I would say the old Hindi movie songs.
All right. So you're a Bollywood song lover. Right. All right, coming up to the next question. The humor keeps us going. That keeps us ticking always, and that is what is essential in our daily life. So let's talk about a funny incident or a weird one in your life.
Okay, I've had quite a few. Wherein it was end of the day, and we usually, all of us teachers would stay back and probably play a fast one to on each other. So this friend of mine, she actually emptied her entire water bottle on me. A colleague of mine, when I was a teacher, she emptied the entire water bottle and none of us had. So I went to the washroom and carried a bucket of water only, and I hid behind the wall waiting for her to come so that I can, drench her. But to my bad luck, it was my head who had actually come and I drenched her. So, well, it was comical too, but yet I was in a lot of trouble too.
Great, So it is said that when you smile, there are so many muscles that are working upon, and we all need to have this humor going on,
Yeah.
these funny incidents going on. So this is how this question has come up in our series here. Going ahead to our next question, ma'am. Your favorite singer or song is?
My favorite singer or song, I do not know the singer, but my favorite song is Na Koi Hai Na Koi Tha Zindagi Mein Tumhare Siva. I don't know the starting line, but that always builds me. That I
Mhm.
always like to sing for myself.
I think it's Kishore Das song.
Must be. I'm
I'm
not too
sure
sure.
about,
Vinod
yes.
Khanna and Meenakshi Sheshadri.
All right,
Yeah.
wonderful. Going to the next question. We know that your hobby is gardening too. So the best corner in your garden is?
I have one particular plant which is like a creeper, and
Mhm.
it is like, every day I notice one this thing. I think it's a money plant. No, it's a jade. It's a jade, and this was given to me by Vijayalakshmi Ramesh, my favorite principal. So that is one particular corner that I like, and I like the way it blooms and the way it looks.
Great. And to all my dear viewers, it is said that if you can't have a pet in your house, do have a plant. Children observes a lot how the plant grows. They understand the life, the values, the importance of watering the plant, the sunlight, and they actually understand caring. So go ahead and build a small garden. And if you cannot do that, just have a few plants in your house for your children to observe and learn.
Yeah.
Going ahead in our next question, name a few sporting activities you participated in.
Oh, I used to play a lot. I was a handball player. I was a volleyball player. I was a throwball player. I was a kho player. Basketball, I was used for defense because of my height. I'm quite tall, and played kabaddi too. I played
Wow.
almost all games.
Amazing. So, do you write or compare at events these days?
Both,
Both.
both.
All right, because you also said that you scripted a lot of events, right?
Yes, I have scripted a lot of events, and I have compared too, because probably I talk a lot and I'm quick in my thoughts, so comes very easy for me.
Wonderful. So it's great to know a person who is a great sports person. You love gardening, you love old Hindi songs, reading, music, writing, so many things. And yes, a great leader, I must admit.
Thank you.
So that was interesting to know you in this segment. Now we have reached to the last question of the show, which is also called viewer's choice question. So this question has come up from our viewers, and they say that school days are so filled with happy memories, but we cannot shy away from the fact that the handful of children do not feel this way. Not being at par with the peer group leads to a lot of bullying, which leaves a scar to child psyche. So what can an educator play a role to eradicate bullying from schools?
This is the part wherein, when you asked, when can an educator be a friend? This is the best time an educator has to be a friend. Okay. Because it is very easy to share your heart with your friend, because friends are not judgmental. They're not judgmental at all. So they do not have any expectations. They just want to have fun with us, or they just want to have good time. So this is the time an educator should choose to be a friend, rather than, oh, you shouldn't have done that, probably you did this. Like usually as adults we always say, तुमने कुछ किया होगा इसीलिए वो बंदे ने वैसे किया है. So there is always fingers pointed at the child rather than understanding where it is stemming from. Probably the child is a bully or has been bullied, we do not know. Why do we have to jump to conclusions, which friends rarely do. So this is the time that we have to choose to play a role of a friend. After understanding what the situation is, don't become an educator, still become a mentor here, because now you are dealing with a wounded heart, a wounded psyche. So it is very important to mend what has been broken. So once you understand where it has gone wrong, it is always ideal to mend what is broken. But in all this, you always take the child into confidence, helping the child understand that you are with him or her no matter what. That ability to reassure them that I'm not judging you for whatever has happened and I accept you the way you are. That is very important, that all of us have to. And that is where the bullying can be stopped. And also, one thing that we need to bear in mind is we always are dealing with somebody who's bullied, but we overlook the fact that the bully has also been bullied at times. So we are not addressing them, and instead we go into the mode of punishment or corrective measures. But we are not then addressing the root cause. We have to see why that child is doing that. That is when the loop is closed. We have to get them onto corrective paths only when both of them are together, not one. We only address one. That is the area we need to work on.
Right. What a beautiful thought, that go to the root of the problem. Why this started. When you eradicate the start, the beginning, ultimately the whole chain will be broken up there. So this is a beautiful thought here. And, at times we parents do a big mistake. We just expect our children that, go shine, beta, do this. I want you to see there. I want you to reach there. What if the child doesn't need, as you mentioned, that I'm there for you and I'm going to be there and I'm going to love you the way you are. That is most important words. What if the child fails?
Yeah.
What is the failure plan? We all say that, once you will succeed, you will get this. I'll buy you a bike, I'll buy you a car. But what if the child is not able to perform?
Yes.
What are we going to buy then? We never
Mm.
discuss this. So,
Yes.
all these things play an important role in helping to build a child's psyche better, and make him understand that whatever happens, there are teachers, there are parents, there are friends, those who are always standing by his side. So
Yes.
great. So it was lovely interacting with you, ma'am. We got so
Pleasure.
many insights, ma'am. And we at Great Principles feel privileged to have an opportunity to interact with you, share your visions, thoughts, and philosophies with our viewers. Our viewers are going to gain a lot of insight from this session, I'm
Thank you
sure
so
of it.
much. Pleasure is entirely mine.